I'm recording this. Look at this. Death Trick Double Blind. Look how cool this looks. I'm so excited to play this game. So we're going to play it. Let me get to OBS. Turn off the monitor. Let me add... What is it called? Double Blind. Death Trick Double Blind. Let me type that out. Death Trick Double Blind. What a cool name. What a cool looking game. I think it's a visual novel though, so maybe not the coolest thing it could be. I'm not the biggest visual novel fan, to be honest. But I do like to play all types of demos. I've said this before. Especially on a demo stream, it's a little awkward for me to just read out text to you guys like you're all children. But it's the only way to really play a visual novel and experience it on stream, right? And so I'm trying to rate these demos. And they're a part of the gaming whole, so I want to make sure I, play a bit of everything. English. Oh my god, look at this buff guy. What is this little puppet on his corner? Cool, cool, cool. It's small for me too, don't worry about it. Oh, the knife. The knife's cool. All right. We got to get all the way up to 4K. Love it. It worked. It actually worked. Not many games do that. All right, let's go. New game. The Sun. Got some cupcakes over here. We've got some whiskey. Hennessy, but it's Genesee. Nice. And death. Dun, dun, dun. New game. Let's see what we've got. Looks like we're working in a circus. Morgan's Traveling Circus is coming to Toolgate. Horses, tigers, elephants, puppets, acrobatics, and fire dancing. Performance every night by the amazing Hattie. Roll up, roll up. Show delayed. New date to be. What is TBD? To be. Oh, wrestling match on television. Experience a real circus at Morgan's Traveling Circus. Blah, blah, blah. Boss refused to answer for Star Magician's disappearance. Ooh, a call from Toolgate. A new case, maybe. Something's going on. That's it, I need to show him this letter. Sorry, I had to turn it down just a smidge. Hi, it's Detective Jones from Jones Investigative Services. How can I help you? Jacqueline, you can call me Jackie. It's like the intro, but we haven't started yet. But it's just doing this whole weird thing. El Sackman, hello. All right, this is it. I have to make it work. Moses, come in. Mr. Morgan, an older gentleman, sits behind the desk, so engrossed in the documents that he didn't even look up when I came in. Mr. Jones, I've been expecting... He stopped halfway through his sentence when he looked up from the desk. Oh, sorry, I wasn't expecting other visitors. Moses is the owner of Morgan's Traveling Circuits. Okay, ooh, the animation. It seems like you have me at a disadvantage, Miss Jacqueline. You can just call me Jackie. Damn it, Jackie, I can't control the weather. Alright, Miss Jackie, is there anything I can do for you? Sometimes conversations can feel like a battle, and you need all the weapons in your arsenal. Okay. A good conversationalist can wield every piece of weapon in their collection to do a variety of things. Ask questions, give answers, present evidence, spread gossip. This is what I'm into. Reading out visual novels? Maybe not so. Manipulation? Within like within discourse? Within the dialogue, right? We're making decisions and we're trying to glean information from people or, get them to believe something that we want them to believe in order to build trust or whatever, so we can rely on them later for something, or maybe so that they'll open up to us a little more. That's cool. Okay, this is your collection. Everything you need for conversation can be found here, separated into 3 categories: information, item, people. When the collection screen comes up, click the tabs on the top to sift through categories. And then click on a piece of item and click question mark to inquire about that topic and advance the conversation. Later you'll be able to inquire everyone about everything in your collection. But for now, focus on answering the other party's questions and keeping the conversation flowing. What did he say? Letter from Hattie. Mr. Moses. Okay. Log. Let's view the log. Yeah, alright. Is there anything I can do for you? Okay. Something's going on in the circus. I need you to watch out. Something happens to me in Tulgi. Please go take my place. I can't say more right now. But please, the show has to go on. The amazing Hattie. About Jackie, no. Is Hattie the mind reader? Situation in circus. Since the disappearance of the circus was star magician, the amazing Hattie, Morgan's traveling circus has been put into the spotlight. Newspapers are speculating on the disappearance and customers are demanding ticket refunds. Let's start with this, because we don't want to give him all of our information as well first, especially not showing him the letter. Actually, the right question to ask is there anything I can do for you? Excuse me? Your circus is in a tough place. He narrowed his eyes for a second, but seemed to decide against speaking. Oh. Instead, he leaned back into his chair and crossed his arms, waiting for me to speak. I must be careful here. Your star performer's been missing for a week. People are talking, the papers are speculating, and your customers are protesting. You sold your tickets on the promise of seeing a show from the amazing Hattie, the greatest female magician of the decade, but no one got to see her perform. It's the weekend and the big show is coming up. If she still fails to show up, he cuts me off, his sharp gaze cutting into my pupil. I want the window open a little bit, but it's going nuts, dude. The wind is going crazy. Miss Jackie, why are you here? Now we show him. I received this letter a few days ago. I came as soon as I could. Chair. Something's... I've got to get these yawns out. Something's going on in the circus. I need you to watch out. If something happens to me in Tulgi, please go take my place. I can't say more right now, but please. The show has to go on. The amazing Hattie. He pored over the letter, brows furrowed. A letter from Hattie. The amazing Hattie is the star magician of Morgan's Traveling Circus until she disappeared earlier this week. What? What is she? What is she talking about? Something going on in the circus. Well, nothing's going on in my circus. If there's anything, I'd surely know, wouldn't I? He looked shaken for a moment, but quickly collected himself. Sorry, that's another matter entirely, which I'm sure we will discuss. But firstly, why would she send this letter to you, Miss Jackie? I'm her sister. About Jackie. The magician. Well, because I'm a magician, too. You said your name was Jackie? Never heard of a magician with that name. And you know every magician in the country? More or less. If someone like you appeared, I'd have heard by now. We don't get a lot of female magicians, and that mask on your face is practically asking for gossip. Small circle, huh? I get it. The Europeans are the same way. So, you're European? But your accent? Well, I was born and raised in the States, but I left with my master to France to study magic with him. That was 5-6 years ago. Oh god, I was just a stupid girl who wants to learn magic. Now I'm a stupid girl, but at least I know how to do magic. Anyways, where was I? Yes, we toured Europe for a few years, but then the war happened. My family was worried about me and insisted on calling me back. So here I am. I promise you, I'm au fait with everything magic. I'm a professional. So is that how you and Hattie knew each other? You know, we magicians need to stick together. Alright. So is that why she asked you to be here? To be her understudy of sorts? Well, that's one explanation. Or maybe she thought I could help her figure something out. This might have something to do with a particular skill of mine. The mind-reading act. She contacted me because I have a particular set of skills. Obvious reference. Obvious taken reference. Well, a skill that helps me figure out what happened. That can help me figure out what happened. Mind reading or a mind reading act. If you're good enough, there won't be a difference. What, so you close your eyes and say a spell and then... Oh, hey guy. And then you tell me where Hattie is? He wants to play it. I'm a mind reader, not a psychic. I can only tell you where she is if you know where she is. Do you? Try it. You want me to try it on you? You have my permission. Alright, here it goes. Well, I'm trying, but your energy is resisting. Right. I think I'm going to need a stronger connection. Can you give me your hands? He didn't say anything, just laid both of his arms atop the table. I grabbed his wrists. His eyes are calm, his pulse steady. Now say abracadabra. Seriously. You'll need to come up with something better than that. See your energy. Resisting. I can't believe I'm going along with this. Fine abracadabra. So good, he got me there. Alright, now I'm just going to ask you a very simple question. You don't have to give me the answer, because I'm going to hear it when you think it. Sound good? Oh, I guess space hides the... I wanted to get the Vincent cam on. Go ahead. Are you sure? I can't control my powers. So if there's anything you don't want me to know, well, actually, now you'll be thinking really hard about them. Get this on whilst we keep reading. I've stared down the barrel of a rifle in the jaws of a tiger. I'm sure I can handle a little magic act. Alright, if you're sure. If you're sure. Here comes. Your magician, Hattie. How did she die? His hands in my palms jerk slightly. Seems like he caught his impulse to withdraw his hand. But it's too late. In his initial surprise, his eyes flickered to my chest, giving him away. Nice. Something through the heart. A bullet? The corner of his mouth twitched. No, a knife. A knife through the heart. His face turned serious. How? Through mind reading, of course. Don't give me that. I mean, mysterious disappearance? Come on. You're trying to say this is just a wild guess? What about the knife? Well, a magician never reveals her tricks. Are you a magician? Wait a minute. Let me just get this straight. So you are a magician, and apparently Hattie suspected something wrong in my circus and asked you to come here if something happened to her. I have to show Vincent cam for a second, because we haven't seen it today. There he is. Vincent cam it's ready. Go on. Everybody can see you now being crazy. I told you he was a lunatic. No, none of you believe me. None of you believe me. And apparently Hattie suspected something wrong in my circus and asked you to come here if something happened to her. Bye. And then she disappeared. So you came here and somehow figured out that she was killed. Told you. Mind reading. Somehow I'm still not convinced about that. When did you find out Hattie was dead? Monday night. When did you receive her letter? A few days ago. Wednesday, I think. I came as soon as I got it. He took a deep breath. This means she knew she was going to die. This means she knew she was going to die. Or at least she knew she was in danger. As much as it's hard to believe, you're right. But how is that even possible? Why did she do anything? His lips trembled. I can see the doubt and the disbelief of his usually impassive face. I feel bad for him. But I can truly rule out that he's the culprit? I cleared my throat, and as if that woke him up, he sat upright, and his face returned to neutral. So, the show's coming up, and I think there's a reason. Hattie called me to take her place. We have a great opportunity here. I'm afraid I don't quite understand. I'm sure you're a great magician, but at this point, I'm afraid no replacement can meet the audience's expectations. Good thing I'm not here to replace her then. I'm here to become her! Huh? Let's talk about the plan. What plan? How many people know about the truth of Hattie's disappearance? For now, only people working in the circus. Well, also the police. So everyone in the circus knows? Perhaps not the regular workers, but the performers definitely all know. Given that they all work together on a daily basis, it's kind of hard to keep it from them. How many people is that exactly? 7 performers, discounting high, that's 6, and there's also a mechanic. 6 performers, 1 mechanic, and you, so 8 people in total. That's right. Alright, that's good. This is going to work. Would you please just get to the point? Let's say, hypothetically, what if Hattie was not dead, after all? I could pinpoint the exact moment his face switches from confusion to understanding. You're going to be Hattie. Let's say the reason for her disappearance is that her face got injured in a practice incident, and now she has to wear a mask to cover up the scars. You had this all planned out from the beginning, didn't you? Well, I am a magician. I'm not going to lie. Oh god, am I bleeding? I'm not going to lie. To have Hattie come back, at least until we get the big shows out of the way, would certainly solve a lot of my problems right now. But I cannot in good conscience agree to this plan of yours. What? Sorry, what? Why? Come on, don't tell me you're sticking to some bullcrap about not lying to the audience or something. In case you haven't noticed, deception is kind of the nature of our trade. No, that's not ideal, but I don't think it's breaking any non-existent code of ethics or anything. And why in the world would you say no? Do you enjoy being grilled by the press and customers every damn day? Crossed his arms. I don't know if this occurred to you, Miss Jackie, but the killer is still out there. This crazy plan of yours will surely draw their attention and therefore put you in mortal danger. You worried about me? Oh, that's real sweet, but you don't have to worry about me. I can take care of myself. You don't understand. I will not have another death happen under my watch. Trust me, nothing's gonna happen. How can you be so sure? Think about it. Whoever killed her was definitely counting on her to get out of the way for something, so my appearance is going to put a wrench in their plan. If it were you, what would you do? I have no idea. You'd panic, scramble to come up with something new, right? That's when you make mistakes. A magician should never do a trick when you think someone's seen through it. So you want to, what? Talk to everyone? See what their reaction is? How's that going to help? Told you he was a lunatic. I told you all. Mind reader here. Remember, I'm not some detective with a magnifying glass concerned about footprints or crime scenes. I deal with the matters of the heart. This isn't your heart. This is your brain. I'm just stupid. Now we can all see you. Whoever did this must have done so for a reason. Was their relationship to Hattie? Did they feel guilty or cocky or relieved? One may keep the evidence of their crime hidden, but their heart will always remember what their mind has tried to forget. If I ask them about Hattie, feelings will emerge, and I think interesting things might come up. Are you absolutely sure about this? I am fully aware of the risk. Besides, who am I to throw away someone's dying wish? The show must go on, and if, when the person who walks in the shadows decides to come out, rest assured, I have plenty of tricks up my sleeves to deal with them. Alright. Oh my god, the gun. We're gonna show off the gun. Or should I say, up my dress. Whoa, what are you? He quickly turned his head to avoid looking. No, look. I tapped on the metal of the gun in my leg holster. Oh. Yep. What do you say? Alright. For the first sign of trouble, I'm pulling you out. Awesome, the plans are good. Now let's talk logistics. Alright, the first things first. This thing we're doing, I'll have to explain it to the rest of the crew. They know about Hattie. So it'll be crazy if they see you showing up out of nowhere, of course. But you might want to leave out a few details. Just tell them it's my idea to get someone to play her, to tie us over until the shows are finished. The switcheroo. I'm going to take Hattie's place. By impersonating her, this will placate circus customers angry over Hattie's disappearance, and maybe, I think, draw out the person behind Hattie's death. Moses will tell the performance that it was his idea to hire me. Secondly, I think you might pass as her from afar, but you're going to need everything on your side for everyone to believe it, especially with all the scrutiny you're going to be under. It'll be help if you're in something familiar. You'll need to change into her costume. I was going to ask you about that. You need to go find Alice, our mechanic. Oh, the one that said works closely with the performers, the one that knows about. Yes. Alice is in charge of our stage props and costumes. She also helps with pretty much everything that has to do with show arrangements. She's the one, besides the performers, that knows what happened to Hattie. I'm sorry, I can't really leave the office. I'm expecting someone important. I'll write you a note. She'll understand when she sees it. He's an absolute freak of nature. And here's a map. This time of day, Alice is definitely backstage. See at the little tent right behind the big top. Just introduce yourself and she'll help you with the costume. And she'll tell you everything you need to know for your performance tonight. I can do that. Now for the last thing. It's absolutely imperative that you don't go wandering around the public areas before you're formally introduced to the audience. Got it. Can't spoil the surprise, right? We're walking a tightrope here. We can't let anyone spot you in an uncontrolled environment. Of course, is that all? Yes. Get into costume, don't let the public spot you, and remember that the performers know about the rules. If we can manage these things, maybe we'll manage to pull off this crazy plan of yours. You are a great magician in your own way. I'll take that as a compliment. It is! Alright, unless you have anything else, you need to be on your way. Alright. We started. Ah, there's a detective. I guess we're working with the detective, right? Ugh. My head hurts. Where am I? What the hell? Wake up drunk at a circus? Alright, think. Someone clearly did this to me. I need to find them and do something. I need to figure out where I am, how I got here. First things first, I need some pants. Really? Did they have to take my jacket and pants too? What was I wearing again? Shit, I can't remember. This can't be good. Why can't I remember? Is it a concussion? Whatever I was wearing probably isn't worth much. Whoever took them must be desperate. Robbery victim. Walking in a corner behind the trains without my money or my clothes, but with some fresh head trauma. I think I was knocked out by a robber looking to make some extra cash. A detective got mugged. Aren't you supposed to, like, train for stuff like that? I'm trying to turn this off. Hola. Oli. Everyone can see you. Bye. Alright, don't worry about it. We'll deal with that later. At least this guy left me with the undershirt and shorts and some dignity. I got up from the ground slowly, cradling my poor head as I stood up. Something small fell to the ground. A bobby pin? Must have fallen out of my pocket when they took off my jacket. Oh. Pick locks. Now freshly awakened, I stood awkwardly in undergarments in a place I don't know. Peek around the corner, not that many people. Stepped out the back of the train cars, looked around. Huh. I have a feeling I'm not in San Francisco anymore. What was I doing in a circus of all places? I looked around to see if there's any passerby that can give me some much needed information. Unfortunately, the whole wide field is occupied, but nothing but the early autumn chill air. Spotted something in the distance, a payphone booth next to the train station. Right, I can call Ruth. Hopefully she can tell me about what case I was working on. I rubbed my arms for some heat and headed to the phone booth. Is it really that cold, or is it just me feeling naked? Ducked into the phone booth, closed the door. There's a clock in the phone booth. It's 10 in the morning. Time doesn't wait for anyone. In one time block, you have limited chances to take actions before the time runs out. Measured by action points. Okay, so this is a little bit more interesting for me for sure. Yeah. We have to make every decision counts. We can't just go through every single dialogue option. Bomb actions such as using the collection to inquire or contradict will cost AP. So think strategically about what you want to spend AP on. The time block will end automatically. So when your AP runs out, so don't forget to keep an eye on it. Alright, I should call Ruth and get a grip on the situation. Let's hope Ruth has some good news for me. At least tells me I have a hotel room nearby with some clothes or something. Shit, I'm an idiot. Of course I don't have a cent on me. Shit. No one around to help either. Maybe I'll get lucky and somebody forgot to collect their change. No dice. Okay, one way left. All I need is to ground the transmitter and the circuit will work. Just like if a coin had passed through it. Need something metal and small. We do have a bobby pin. Dialing. What city, please? San Francisco, California. Please, number for Jones Investigative Services, Jones on Market Street. Checking on the Jones Investigative Services, Jones on Market Street. Connecting.
Hello, Jones Investigative Service. How can I help?
That's her voice for sure. Let her know I got robbed. I think someone hit me in the head. Oh, sorry, you okay? Are you looking for help? No, I'm fine, but they took all my stuff and my clothes. I don't remember why I'm here. What day is it? Useless. It's Sunday. Sunday the 21st. Then I think I don't remember the past few days. Sorry that happened, sir. Why are you calling this number?
Do you need a PI's help? I'm afraid Detective Jones is busy with another case at the moment, so
I'm not Jones. Yeah, I know. Because I'm him. Oh, there we go. Detective Jones, I mean. What?
Ruth, it's me! Seriously, prove it.
Oh my god, she's the worst. My birthday is June 6, 1920. My favorite food is goat cheese with cranberries. My middle name is Julius because my mom likes alliteration too much. So she's Jones Julius. Pretty cool. Pretty cool name. Mr. J, is it really you? I don't even recognize your voice over the phone. You idiot. Why don't you just tell me it's you? What were you thinking? Sorry, just thought I'd break the news to you in a fun way. Alright. Fun, he said. You're insane.
Anyways, what's the situation up there?
You okay? You need me to call somebody? Blah, blah, blah. No, I'm fine. This is just, I mean, there's a lot of writing that maybe doesn't need to be here. You know, like, they never just get to the point. There's a lot of, like, silliness with these, and I know it's, like, the fun of the... It's like you're world building, kind of, but you're not. It's just not interesting enough to be world building, and it's kind of annoying in that sense, you know? It's too much. It's too much, Will, like, of this. I don't know, man. I mean, I need to find something to wear real fast. It's getting cold out here. I think whoever hit me took the wallet too, unless they don't with me, which seems unlikely. My head kind of hurts. I think it might be a concussion. Can't be sure. I don't remember where I was staying. If I need money to get there, then I'm kind of fucked. I kind of made this call illegally since again. Oh, wait, what? I made this call illegally since again, I don't have any money on me. It's just 2 cents, but it's just 2 cents. I'm sure the payphone company can survive it. Yeah, other than that, I'm great. Sound like quite a day. So the last thing I remember was I was in San Francisco. I'd wager I missed a few days. I'm gonna need to catch you up if you don't mind. All right, your brain gets tossed around in your skull. It's a wonder you have a mind left. That's why I'm the best person for the job. You tell yourself that. Blah, 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 blah. Call from Tolgi 4 or 5 days ago. Seriously, whoever knocked you out must have gotten a good hit. I get it. He lost his memory, all right? We all get it. All right, I think I know the basics. I can give you a basic rundown of the case. About the case. The client we can find out. Let me guess. Does the case have something to do with a circus by any chance? Good, so you did make it there. The amazing hat is missing. Since when? Monday. It's been almost a week. About the client. Who's the client? Moses Morgan, the owner of the traveling circus. What else do we know about him? Oh, he's not the usual PT. Barnum type. From what I could gather, he's not really one for the spotlight. He seems to have a good rep in the business. No one seems to have any big issues against him, which could either be a good sign or a very bad sign. I guess you're going to find out. Why didn't they call the police? Magician being missing for almost a week, why didn't they call the police? What I understand, they did. So why me? You have to ask the client himself, okay? I guess I need to find him. Maybe I already did. I can't go dressed like this. Where am I supposed to be staying? Not like you ever booked a room yourself. You're supposed to be staying at the motel nearby on Shermer Road. It's right next to the circus. You should find it with no trouble. Get to the motel, put some clothes on, talk to the circus boss. I'll get it. Thanks. See you when I get back to San Fran. Say hi to Thief for me. Don't let him steal too many sandwiches. Be careful. Wait until your mother hears about this young man. I was hoping to avoid that. You should know better now. That woman knows everything. Hold off on tattling to her until I get a chance to do it myself, please. Sure, you're the boss. One more thing before you go. Be careful. The thing in the circus. We already covered it. My head will remain intact for the rest of the investigation, of course. I don't mean be careful with yourself. There's a lost cause. That's a lost cause at this point. I meant be careful with the circus people. What do you mean? I had a cousin who was in the circus back in the day. The carnage is almost like they have a little secret society. They're insanely guarded to those they see as outsiders. They'll cooperate if they have to, but they'll never actually tell you anything useful if they don't trust, if they don't at least respect you. Don't go all the way in doing your thing. What thing? I don't have a thing. You know you are you. And that might make them anxious. What does that mean exactly? I can hear them on her side on the phone. You know, you look like someone that might arrest them. I'm not a cop. Just be more gentle, okay? To try and get him to trust you. Easier said than done. Circus secrets. Alright, never mind. I'm sure it'll all work out. It usually does for you, although I have no idea why. Anything else, boss? Nope. Bye. Okay, I meant to prepare myself. Up the phone booth. I peeked my head. Is anyone around? He spotted someone holding something. Looks like my wallet, and the stranger, the robber, is probably now looking through it. Formulating a plan. Must be something like 6 feet 4, wide shoulders and arms like a barrel of cannons. Moving closer. It's like the sky is darkened with all the light he blocked out. No wonder he managed to knock me out. I'm too egotistical to admit I'd probably know. Must definitely lose if I were going up against him physically. Clearly I don't have any weapon on me. There's no one around to help either. That leaves me with very few options. Tried to negotiate. Reached out to pat him on the shoulder. Damn, he's really tall. Hey. He whipped around in alert, almost tripping over himself. Despite his stature, he's obviously quite young. Probably his early 20s. Who? Didn't think I'd wake up that quickly, did you? Jokes on you, this is my first rodeo. What? Shh, listen, you don't want a scene, do you? I don't. How about this? I'll let you keep the cash, but I really need the rest of the wallet back. Some personal things, they're worth nothing to you, but I'd like to keep them. What? I'm not going to. You said this is your wallet? Come on, you just took them from me, right? And where'd you put my clothes? You already hid them? No, I didn't. I think you have the wrong person. I just found the wallet on the ground. Look, something just over there, outside of the train car. I was checking inside to see if there's a name or something. Oh. I'm sorry for the misunderstanding. He scratched his head and laughed it off. Eyes now filled with concern. Don't worry, what happened to you? I think someone knocked me out and took all my clothes and stuff, so when I woke up, I saw you holding my wallet. Well, in my defense, my head's still all fuzzy. Probably because of the concussion. Sure this is your wallet? Check inside, right? He probably has a name. Jones's Investigative Services. Okay, oh, we really need a new slogan. And over there in the pocket should be a photo of my cat. It says thief on it. Why does it say thief? That's his name. My friend found it funny because I'm a detective. He looked at the photo and smiled. Aw, little guy. His gaze lingered on the photo for a few seconds. He still managed to put everything back into the wallet and hand it back to me. Sorry about that, here you go. Looked inside, there's the name card, the photo, and surprisingly about $20 in cash for a few quarters lying around. Not a small amount of money, probably a week's worth of salaries for an average worker. They didn't take his wallet. Still 20 bucks in there. Yeah, you said you were robbed? Something doesn't make sense here. Sometimes you might realize the information you have doesn't add up. Someone might be lying, or you might be making the wrong assumptions. Contradict. Okay. Choose two items from the collection that contradict each other. Point out logistical inconsistency. You will still be presenting contradictions to people. Know who you are talking to. If they know nothing about who you're talking about, the contradiction won't matter. Alright. So obviously the fact that I'm a robbery victim and the fact that I have my wallet. How do I do it? Wait, contradict here. I'm a robbery victim, but I've got my wallet. Contradiction. A robber looking for money definitely wouldn't have left without more than $20 of cash in my wallet. Yeah, they mustn't have been looking for money. It's still cash. Alright, perhaps they didn't see the wallet fall to the ground and took my clothes. Said you found it by the train? Yeah, it was just there. I didn't think someone would miss it if they were looking for it. Surprised someone else didn't find it and took it already, actually. Luckily, not a lot of circus customers come around here. Interesting. Might not be about the money. Alright. It's not for the money, then for what? Trying to embarrass you like a prank? Well, I'm embarrassed. Can you think of anyone that might have out for you? Funny, this is usually my line. You're a detective, you can solve the case. Okay, my enemies, too many to count. Wouldn't let me off this easy. Still alive, no missing links or fingers, so yeah. They're not targeting me personally. Maybe I had something important on me, some evidence, and they had to take it. I'm more and more curious about this case and at the circus. And speaking of the circus, there's one more thing I want to ask you. You work here, right? How did you... Well, the gloves and the scarf. First, I thought you'd just be in a lot of knife fights because, you know, the rubber thing. But once I realized that's not true. They also said not a lot of customers come around here, which implies you're not one of them. Once I got that, well, a circus worker with a lot of scars, animal trainer is the obvious answer. That's so smart. Is that what detectives can do? Well, don't be too nice, considering I got things very wrong on the first try. Sorry for the whole assuming you're a criminal thing, by the way. I blame the concussion for that. My name's Rolf. This is the circus. Nice to meet you. Call me Jones. Your boss is Moses. He's my client. Okay, you hear about Hattie. There's so much introduction. This is what kills me, man. The fun part, the contradiction, you know, the kind of trying to get information out of people by using these bits of information we already have and presenting it. This is why I really dislike Phoenix Wright, because it does a lot of this, but even worse because it's like an anime game. So every conversation has to have a million offshoot tangents about just the dumbest shit that you don't care about and bad jokes, and I'm just, oh god, it kills me. And then when you're in the courtroom, you have to present things in a very specific order, even though it makes sense what you're trying to show. It's like, no, you gotta show this, you gotta do that. It has a plan. You can't just kind of work with it. This kind of feels like that, to be honest, where I want to get to that good part, but it's like, ugh. What if whoever attacked you is... I won't make any assumptions yet. Such a mess. Boss is over there. Do you have anything to wear? Motel nearby, I'll go get some. Thanks, let me know if you need anything. Hey, to go, you can come talk to me later if you want. If I'm in the big top 1 PM or fair area at 2 PM. Thanks for the help, I appreciate it. Bye. Alright, Shroomer Road. Quick walk. Everyone is too enthralled by the circus to pay much attention to a homeless looking guy. Told them my key was stolen. They gave me a new key to my room after they billed me for it, of course. With all the trouble and humiliation and the physical peril, this job better pay like Rockefeller himself hired me. Open the door. My room seems undisturbed. I quickly put on some change of clothes and start surveying the room. At least we didn't have to talk to the secretary. That's good. Alright, observation. Receive magnifier. It means you can enter investigation mode. Costs you 1 action point to enter investigation mode. Once you started, you can move your mouse around and look at everything in the scene. Okay. All notable elements will be highlighted when your mouse hover over them. Yeah. When you don't click exit. Okay. 1 AP. Generic nightstand. They're all empty. Ashtrays empty too. They cleaned it out. Or whatever. This poster. The circus. That's Hattie. An elephant. Blah, blah, blah. That's our missing person. Never thought I'd miss the feeling of clothes on my skin so much. Most of my belongings are still lying neatly in the suitcase. Don't remember what I packed. A few days worth of clothes. All good. Not much down here. There's my jacket here. My trusty trench coat. I'll put it on before I leave the door. It's good for... Looks good on me. It's good. It's useful. Map of the local area and a phone book. Alright. Just doing some work up front. Oh, the light. Oh, okay. No. I think that is about it. I love this design. I like this. That notebook. What is that? Very cool. End of turn. Okay. Alright, I've got everything I need. Whew. Time to meet the client. 11 PM? What the fuck? Clock's going crazy. We're switching back to the other one? Yeah. It's cool that you switch back and forth. I guess we're going to work together by the end. Alright, Moses asked me to find Alice, the big tent. So, backstage, I guess. Or not. There we go. Backstage, just a small tent behind the big one. Slipped in the back. It's not exactly tidy. Alright. Bunch of shit everywhere. Clear my throat. Ahem. Tiny girl, young woman, slips out from behind the board. String of soft clinking and clattering followed her movements as tools ride around in her pockets. She eyes me up and down, obviously wondering if I'm supposed to be here, but decided against speaking first. You must be Alice. She nodded. Mechanic of Morgan's Traveling Circus. Great, I'm Jackie. What are you doing here? The switcheroo. Mr. Morgan asked me to come here. As a note from him, he said you'll understand after you read it. I handed her the note. She quickly scanned it. And, as if she couldn't believe what was written, carefully passed the note again. Surprised the paper is not going to spontaneous combustion from the intensity of her disbelieving gift. Stuff like that, like I guess it helps with the writing, but it's like, it's very flowery, and I don't know how. To me, I'm playing a game. You know what I mean? And I want to get to the game. I know it's important to be like, for the writing to be good, but it can be good and you know, brief. I think going on, so I'm surprised the paper is not going to spontaneous combustion from the intensity of her disbelieving gaze. Right. Is everything okay? Is everything okay? Yeah, it's okay, I guess. She stayed at the ground silent for a long while. Can't believe, what's he thinking dressing someone up as her? He didn't tell us about this? I'm sure he has his reasons. Obviously, I'm not an expert here, but Mr. Morgan seems like a smart guy. He has his reasons. You don't need to tell me that. I'm just sorry it's been a crazy week. Of course, I know that. I can't imagine the pressure he's under. What did you do if you're in this situation? She paused for a second, letting out a long breath. I'm sure what I would do. I'm sure what I would do, but it would definitely not be this. You're not sure what you would do, you mean? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. Right. Asked to help me with the costume. She looked me up and down. I have the old one. I think you'll fit in it. Make you some measurements? Sure. Alright. She measures me, rummaging around. See how tall you are. The eye out of the way. You can stand here. She has to resort to getting on the stairs next to the shelf to read the results. Something around 5'8". Height was 5'6". I could have told you that. My height, I mean. Sorry, I just like to measure things myself. Pulled the tape measure back and pulled out another from her pouch, a soft one. Quickly took measurements of my shoulder and waist. Hold your arm straight to the side with a tape measure. Got it. All done. Let out her breath. This is killing me. She's jotting something down quickly on a notepad while clearly forming a plan in her head. What's your shoe size? Dude. She took my measurements in bold text. That is literally all I needed from this. How can you not be sure? Aren't measurements in the States different? Right, you were Europe or something? Okay. How's this for you? Sat down on the stairs, tried squeezing my foot in. My toes are screaming. I feel like one of Cinderella's evil stepsisters. Yeah, you're a little taller than her. Maybe you don't need the heels. Let me see. Scan the room. All black knee-high boots. Chips, actually. He's a short guy. Try him on. Slipped him on. All good. This is about shoes. It's about shoes. Black goes with everything. I think I have a new dress fabric left. Doing stuff. She got scissors. Right, she'd fix the shoes. Glue works really well in a pinch, I promise. Somehow, just a few touches of glue, the fabric is now decorating the boot like it's always meant to be part of the costume. Can you try these on? Let me know how they fit. Blink of an eye, she laid out the dress, the boots, a pair of gloves, a top hat. Like here. It's backstage. Oh, in front of me. I'll look away. Okay, blah, blah, blah. I ducked behind and put on a dress. She put on the dress. Everything fits great. I wish I could see it, but... Come on, let me see. Yeah, it's awesome. Lovely, lovely. Hardly recognize myself. Whoa, looks. I know. I'd be keeping this for the big show tonight. That reminds me, we should talk a bit about the show's arrangement. Start at 7, goes on 3 hours. Ringmaster does the routine. I think it'd be better for you to only do the closing act 9 to 10. You need a little early to get some last minute arrangements, maybe at 8. Be easier then. Big top watching the show. You don't need to worry about someone seeing you. Be back here at 8. What now? Actually, I need to. I wanted to check on the Calliope first. Oh. Go some. You can leave. Want to switch up the scenery? Simply click on it. Okay. In the future, you'll be able to choose which location you want to go to in the beginning of every turn. Those don't cost any action points. However, if you wish to move from one location in the middle of a turn, it'll cost you 1 AP. Oh my god, we actually get to play the game. Okay. I'm gonna ask about the situation in the circus. The whole hat situation would be the talk of the town. I know it's been crazy. Don't mind me asking, has it been affecting the business? People really returning their tickets and stuff? It's not for me to worry about. The whole thing just feels so wrong. Time when circus coming to town would be the biggest thing ever. People would drive for hours and contract boats just to come see the performance. Kids would try to sneak in, do all kinds of odd jobs for them, so they'll give us free tickets. And then we'd go see the acrobatic ladies and the elephants. You run to the front row and reach your hand out. You could touch the horses and elephants. It was magical. Seems like people are just less impressed with what we're doing these days, you know? It seems like they're expecting people to be shot out of cannons or birds that will turn into snakes or something. I don't know, maybe I'm just being too... Seems like I don't really understand what the circus is about. I don't really know about the number stuff, but the boss doesn't seem too worried. Guess it's fine. As long as we're doing stuff, I'll be here. Okay. So, we don't need to talk about... We can't talk about the ladies. So, what is this? The map? Do I investigate here? No point to contradict. I don't think there's much going on. Did it have scissors that could be stabbed through the heart? And she does have this. I'm going to look around in this place. Chemically, a big mallet. Practical use. A prop. Wooden shelf. Yeah. The eye. Staring into space. Why would you need to shoot one like this? Several big cards. Painted cardboard. A little shabby, amateurish. Makeup desks. Mirrors and bulbs. Hypnotic. Tiny black and white pictures glued to the mirror. Reference photos. Took a peek in the makeup box. 100 different brushes in there. How do you tell between them? Over here, portable clothes rack, a bunch of stuff. That's a lot of C's. A portable clothes rack crammed with colourful costumes and cerulean crescent. Wow, that's a lot of C's. Did you have to tell me that? Wow, that's a lot of C's. Did you think that people wouldn't get the alliteration? Right. Alright, couple of books, ashtray, couple of bottles of whiskey. Performance, sit, fill the time. Alright. Alright, I can come back for that. Yeah, I thought I was going to be able to look at her as well, but I guess I can't. So we wasted an AP there for sure. Let's get out of here. We're going to go. The stable. The fair. Guess we go to the fortune teller. We are the fortune teller. Walk right in. Blankets and shit. There's a little boy. He's all weird. Tito, what are you looking for? No, I'm right. What you know it's about? I gestured at myself. Of course. You yourself, but not quite. There's a disguised authenticity when fiction becomes truth, and truth is as good as fiction, okay? Fortune tellers don't look at what you wear, only who you say you are. We care only about what the stars say to us. And I thought it was really good magic talk lessons for this kid. Forgot to ask your name. Tito, the fortune teller. Can you fortune readings for me? If you're interested, I can offer the first reading for free. Oh my god, dude. This game is killing me. The writing is just... it's losing me. Tarot cards. You're looking to learn about matters romantic love, blah, 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 blah. Poker game. Let me choose a card, split the deck. Draw cards. Flicked up in the first one. The Magician, that's obvious. Wait a minute. The man in the card's wearing a top hat and a dress. Some sort of special edition. It's not supposed to look like that. Long story. Yan did that. He looks a little embarrassed and solemnly cleared his throat. Doesn't interfere with the reading. Okay. You were saying? Reverse, you're in a situation full of illusions and trickery. I should think that's obvious in this whole situation. Okay. 7 of Cups. Choices, confusion, wishful thinking. This card represents your present. You're faced with a lot of choices. You're not sure which is going to work in your favor. Thus the confusion. The most you can do is something. Wish. 3rd card is the future. Generic line. Alright. The Tower. Disruption. Sudden upheaval. Potential disaster. Oops, definitely not generic. Sounded grimly serious. However, the effect is significantly mitigated by the doodles on the card. Right, potential disaster. I'm not sure that doesn't sound good. You came seeking answers about your fortune. What do you see? I see little jumps. Continue to speak slowly, every syllable bubbling like water waiting to boil. I see misfortune in your stars tonight. What? Well, I'm still reeling what I just said. He has already shuffled the deck and put it back under the table. That's all I have for you now. That's all? You can't just say that and kick me out? Alright, you gotta get out of here. Your reading's complete. You can stay here and rest if you want, or you can make your own way out. I guess. Don't know what the train cars are. Go to the fair? Oh yeah, I'm not supposed to go to public areas. Okay, well. Okay. Area not available and you can go back to the office. Best not to bother him now. I guess I'm gonna go into the main, not going to public areas. Oh. Go to the stable, I guess. Nowhere else to go. Stable, out of the way, nestled in seclusion. Saw me approach before he did. This guy, Rolf. Hi, Rolf. I'm an animal guy. Hi, I'm Jackie, pretending to be Hattie. No one else around besides dozens of horses and exotic animals. Mr. Morgan told you guys about the plan, right? It's hard to explain. Moment it felt like you've seen a ghost. Yes. Good to be here. He's sad. He loved her. He's here to say hi, everyone in the circus. I'm telling you my name now. I'm Rolf, the animal trainer. This is Muffin. Pearl over there is Waffles. Next to her is Pancake. Black Beauty over here, can I guess? He must be Burnt Toast. Actually, that's Obsidian. Sorry, I thought you were working breakfast food theme here. Oh, that's because old Obi's mine. So you named him and someone else, I'm guessing, a breakfast lover named the rest? Actually, it's the other way around. It's kind of a long story. All the time in the world. I kind of grew up with Obsidian. He's the horse we had at Collins and Lucas, the circus my parents worked at. They brought him in as a little foal. I was barely as tall as he. Obviously taller, and he's quite an old fella now. So when my parents retired, I just really wanted to take old Obi with me. What did your parents do in the circus? What do they do? They're animal trainers too, of course. It's family trade, you see. That makes sense. Can't imagine other parents letting their kids walk around with circus animals. Growing up in circus wasn't like that. Everyone kind of raised everyone, you know? All the kids that grew up there played horses and trapezes and fair games. It was just like everyone's a big family. Telling me you'd know your way around a trapeze? I'd probably just break them now, but I used to be pretty good, actually. Anyways, I got Moses to thank for Obsidian. If it weren't for his agreeing to pay to buy Obi off my old boss, who knows where Obi would be, or where I would be now. Really is a lovely horse. Great, I guess I should say hi. Hi Muffin, hi Waffles, hi Pancake, hi Obsidian. And hi Rolf. Alright. Alright, keep your identity secret. Thanks! Trying to remember the names and stuff. I don't... hope I don't screw up. Alright. You must know everyone pretty well. I'm happy to talk. This guy's an open book. I like him. Too bad it's the end of the turn. Whoa, look at the time. I can't believe I kept you for that long. I'd say I'll get out of your hair. It's close to 12 AM already. $12 PM, right? 12 AM's midnight? $12 AM is midnight, and 12 PM is the middle of the day. Yeah. Of course. You're new here. Do you have any plans now? What do you mean? Not really. Introduce myself. Come on, come with me then. What? You haven't seen the Cali performance yet? I think you're gonna love it. Come with me. I can't do much more of this, guys. I can't read. I'm like really interested in the game, but there's just so much. And the hook happened really without me even seeing it. She's dead. And then it's just a lot of conversation. It's kind of cringe a lot of the time. I'm gonna take a place and I'm gonna tell you bad jokes. And it's just, oh my god. I need to go see Mr. Morgan. Come in. What business brings you here? So he doesn't know me. Okay, that's good. I was gonna give him the investigation card. What brings you here? About Detective Jones, I guess. I should ask you, after all. So you called us Mr. Morgan, Mr. Jones from San Francisco. Yes, I understand. Disappearance of your magician. Quite a few details. Right. To be honest, I wasn't expecting you to be a little earlier. The situation has evolved since the call was made. Alright. Hi's not missing. She's dead. Certainly is one significant detail you left out. Hope you understand. We don't really have another choice. Alright. Sure it's a murder. She found a knife in her chest. Oh, what a crime scene. Can I see it? Well, about that. Actually, it is no crime scene anymore. Day happened, we were busy setting up the circus. Most tents weren't set up yet. The only ones we had were a small temporary tent for storage. That's the crime scene, yes, and we had to take it down because the circus had to open. So we have nothing. The police did take a photo of the scene. Here's a copy. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. That's pretty brutal. What is that board? Obviously like a knife thrower, right? Like it's a knife throwing board. That's an act we do. Her signature performance, the knife throwing act. Someone would be tied to the board just like this and she'd throw knives at the board, always taking the board, but never the partner. The crowd loves it. Could this have been a practice gone wrong? There's just one problem with that. Hattie's the one throwing the knife, not the one being tied up. It doesn't make sense why she'd be on there. Is anyone else a trained knife thrower? As far as I know, the only one who can do it is Hattie, but obviously she couldn't have done this to herself. Obviously. If you have questions about the act, you should ask Aideen about it. She's our fire performer. She always had a partner on the knife throwing performance. Maybe it was her twin sister. Right? Glovey. Glovey. Do you recognize it? Circus equipment. It's one of our custom-made throwing knives. Don't know much about the details. Balanced for throwing. Might be one thing you're missing. Just because the murder weapon's throwing knife doesn't mean they really has to throw it. No one witnessed the process. For all we know, they might just tied it to the board, picked up the knife, and stabbed her in. Right. Maybe that's the point. It's just misdirection by the killer. Maybe there's something to this knife throwing, some symbolic reason I can't be sure yet. She hurt somebody with a throwing knife and they never walked again. Any fingerprints on the knife? I asked that too. They couldn't find any fingerprints on it. Wearing gloves or wiped it after. Alright, I think that's all I need about the photo. You can keep it. Thanks. One question. Please don't show it to people. She was their friend. Nobody needs to see this. Alright, of course. About the victim. Does she have any enemies? Anyone you know would hurt her enough to kill her? It's hard to imagine. Circus performers together everywhere. We're a close-knit group. They've been working with each other for a while. Nothing has seemed out of the ordinary. Could it be someone outside? Never stayed in place for that long. You think one of your own did it? I don't know what to think, detective. It's okay. Is there anyone in particular you might have in mind? Not at all. I don't think any of my team would do something like this. They're good kids. If I had Nick Till every time I said ended up being proven dead wrong, I wouldn't need to be doing this job. What else do you think I called you? I understand my judgment might be flawed here. Look, rationally, I know the person that did it was here before the show even opened. Probably personal grudge and has access to storage areas. All signs of someone in your crew. Yes. If... I feel like I know what you're going to ask. Hypothetically, I ask you what you think could be the killer's motive. I'm afraid I'm not the best person to ask. It's your circus. Generally, I try to refrain from intervening too much. All right. All right, just tell me who I need to talk to. Formans, Mechanicales, they're the ones who know the best. Going on in the newspapers, I let it go. I had an idea, the sort of idea we're talking about. I had someone to pretend to be her. I saw a ghost. I just thought you should be aware. And just where did you manage to find this replacement? Looked into it and she wasn't anywhere near the circus at the time that I'm sure of. About what happened. When did the murder take place? Took place Monday before sunrise. Took most of the day to set up, so I gave everyone the rest of the afternoon off. Alright. Came back, it was 9 PM, everyone was waiting for me. And then they told me, one of our performers, Echo, found Hattie in the storage room. Her pulse was already gone by then. I called the police later that night. They waited until you were back, Mr. Jones. It may seem strange, but you have to understand in the circus we are very guarded people. Most of us haven't had very pleasant interactions with law enforcement in our history either. Usually we try to resolve these matters with the community, but something like this has never happened in our group. I was shocked and very concerned. I insisted on calling them. Why hire a private investigator? Called them Monday night. They showed up the next day. They took the body, took some photos of the scene, asked everyone a few set questions. I haven't heard from them since. No updates, nothing. I called them yesterday. Copy of the autopsy. They're neglecting it. Okay. Neglecting the case, and that's why we hired this guy. Okay. Alright, alright. Don't have a clear time of death. Echo found her at 7 and she left at 5. Okay. Yes. They can both be corroborated by others. She said it was raining afternoon. Do you remember when the rain started and stopped? It didn't start until I got into town, so about 4 o'clock. It already ended when I got back. How was the weather these past few days? It's not rained since. Good. This is a pretty good window. I can ask around and see what everyone's doing during that time period. Looking for an alibi. Usually help us catch the killer. Might rule out a few suspects. Good to know. That's all. Circus is leaving tonight. Oh my god. Last day we have here. Still have a show tonight? We have a show every night. Can you pack up all of this in one night? You haven't seen a circus performance before, have you? You walk into a tent at 7 and by the time you walk out, everything but the big top will be gone. Disappear. I've seen people compare it to magic before. I only have today to figure things out. It's already 11. 12 hours to solve it. I really can't delay anything. The circus's future performances are all scheduled. Okay, sorry for my tardiness. Alright. Big show starts at 7, ends before 10. The train will be leaving in sections. Last one departing less than 2 hours after the show ends. All be gone by midnight. Any witness or evidence. That's right. It's like Cinderella, but instead of princess, I'm chasing a murderer. Well, you put it that way. Might need anything else. Of course, of course. I'll let you know. There's too much, right? Am I the only one that thinks there's too much text? I know it's a visual novel. But you know what Shakespeare said? He said, brevity is the soul of wit. You can get a lot of this stuff across sharper and smarter. You don't need to go over and over and over. This is in circles, I feel like. What else? This is a circus. There are certain trade secrets we have to protect. What does that mean? It means that there are certain areas only available to members of the circus that preferred if it stayed that way. You hide a detective and everyone keeps secrets. Not all of them. Just the stable and backstage are off limits. Do not go barging into people's private rooms on the train without permission. They tend to be very territorial. I'm beginning to think you don't even want me to solve the case. Look, Mr. Jones, I'm going to be completely honest with you for a second. Hattie's dead. Nothing I can do to change it, including catching who did it. Tension is high. Best thing I can do is keep things running as usual, maintain a sense of normalcy for my folks. Been through enough goodbyes to know the last thing you want is everything else changing too. Care about solving it? I wouldn't have called you otherwise, but I care about it more than keeping the circus running, keeping everyone from falling apart? No. You are the client. Okay. Just do your best, I always do. Alright, where do I start? Let's go to the fair, because we haven't seen that yet. Oh my god, how is this demo still going, dude? Snacks and shit. this weird guy. A gaunt man, long hair, and tired eyes. His skin was almost vampire pale. Despite the vampire's otherwise disinterested expressions, children are gathered around watching the puppet in his hand. The red-haired aristocratic puppet is doing a cheery dance. Its movements and gestures are animated, waving at the audience, covering its face in laughter, taking a bow. You can even see the puppet's chest heaving after the dance. As the crowd was cheering, I took another glance at the puppeteer, whose face remains blank, a peculiar contrast with the puppet on his hand. That's the performance. Thank you. We were going to take a short break before you go. I'm obliged to inform you that there's a Calliope performance scheduled at the end of the hour, so if you somehow managed to miss the giant Calliope, now you know. Puppeteer's mouth is not moving at all, only the puppet's mouth is moving its jaw and making animated talking gestures. Must be a ventriloquist then. As the crowd gradually dissipates to the various vendors, I was left alone with the puppeteer. Do you have a minute? And you are... I just wanted to ask you about... Puppet made a quick move to leave. Wait, I'm here to ask you. I don't take questions from crazy strangers. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Detective Jones. Dr. Jones. Calling Detective Jones. Moses, can I ask a few questions? And your name is Echo. Performance has ended. Even as we're speaking, Echo's own lips never moved. I'm not sure if I should look at him or the puppet. You always talk like this? Like what? I mean, do you have to talk through this thing? I gestured towards the puppet and glanced at the puppeteer, whose face is giving away nothing. I wish I had that good of a poker face, then I wouldn't lose so much money playing poker with Mom and Ruth. Great. Great. God. Echo gestured towards the puppet. Maybe I'm borrowing its mouth. And the puppeteer gestured towards Echo. Or actually, I'm Echo, and I'm just borrowing this flesh operator's voice. Alright, it's kind of giving me an existential crisis. Existing is what you gave you the crisis. Do you ever give a straight answer to a question? Why is it bothering you? How unfortunate. See, you did it again. Alright, can't get used to it. Not answering on purpose. Meaningless questions, you don't meaningless answers. Okay, I'll get to the point. Where were you during the time of death? I was walking around, taking a stroll. Was it raining outside? Well, maybe I like walking in the rain. You have a problem with that? Fine, go on. Was there anyone else with you? Let me save you the time. No, I don't have an alibi. I was alone outside and then I wandered into the damn tent and saw her lying there, already dead. Were you the one who found her first? I was the first one that found her and notified other people? Yes, can't say for sure if I'm the first one. Maybe someone else saw her and decided to pretend like they didn't. How many questions I anticipate you're about to ask me? I'm beginning to think maybe I should have done the same. So what happened after you found her? Oh my god. I checked the pulse and then I knew. I knew Moses wasn't going to get back in time, so I had to do something. You informed the other people at the circus. I only talked to a few people. Can you tell me who you talked to and what they were doing at the time? Tell me who eats what for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? I'm losing a lot of frames now. I don't know what's happening all of a sudden. But Twitch doesn't like it. Tell me what you did after you found Alice, Aideen, and Chip. Aideen? So I got Alice to close down the tent. I went to find Aideen in her trailer. She's the fire performer. Oh yeah, she's close with Hattie. What was she doing? She was just in her trailer with Jan, her little sister. I knocked on the door and she came to open it. I told her what happened. Jan was in the room with her. Yes, just like I said. Alright, slower than it already is if you insist on not paying attention and repeating things. Both in the room. Sorry, go on. Told Aideen what happened. She went back to the trailer to talk to Jan and then insisted on going to see Hattie. Chip. Who's Chip? A clown. Not very nice. Just joking, the circus clown, right? Got it? Why did you go find Chip? I didn't. You asked who I saw? I saw him. I was on my way to stables to find Alice. What was he doing? Ah, no, I was in a hurry. Going down the main road to the stables, but I saw him near the train, probably coming back from somewhere. You saw him near the train? Were you in the when you were on the main road? That's quite far. It was dark too. How'd you know it was him? He was wearing this gaudy cowboy hat. I recognize the hat because I see it every damn day in our trailer. There are only a few of us that live here. No one else will wear something like that. Didn't see Chip, just his hat. And he was big. Could have been Rolf. Who's Alice? Alice the mechanic. I went to find her first, put up a sign to stop anybody else from entering the tent. What was she doing? She was taking a nap. Wasn't it 7 p.m? Yes, it was arrival day, and she always puts up... She's always up before sunrise setting up. She usually take a nap after we've finished. Alright. Anyone else with her? Didn't see anyone else. Wasn't exactly scouting. The place was dark and someone had just died. What happened then? After you informed them both, Alice closed off the tent. No one touched anything in there afterwards. Aideen went to tell the others what happened. We waited until Moses was back. Decided to call the cops. The rest you probably already know. Okay. Chip. Let's go speak to Chip. Can we find the clown? Where would the clown be? In here? Crowds of bustling, children laughing. It's a kid. Glides on the high wire. Oohs, ahs, blah, blah, blahs. Oh, she's gonna fall, but then she's not gonna fall. A big smile forming on her face. Twirled on the high wire with her hands stretched to the ceiling. A big laugh and danced. Now there was nothing but joy in her face. She danced on a thin line in the sky like someone... Like how a fish would in water. Wait. She danced on a thin line in the sky like how a fish would in water. Like there was no other habitat for her. That's a weird phrase. Spotlight chased after her figure on the wire, casting a dancing shadow on the ground. Alright. Her laughter. It was over. Jan, I lowered my gaze. I was on the high wire, I saw you watching. From all the way over there, you see far when you're up high. Alright, what do you think? I think you did. What am I saying? Did you mean to throw people? Did you mean to throw the pole just now? I think you did. No, I didn't. Really? I'm not going to tell you. You're the detective. Find out who killed Hattie. Blah, 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 blah. Haha, she's funny. Chip the clown. Keep that under advisement. Who killed Hattie? I'm here to ask questions. Alright. I'm not old enough to kill her. Where did that come from? Just like he said. Excellent. Where were you with them tonight? Is that when Hattie died? Please ask the question. Aideen in our trailer the whole time. Nothing else to do. What were you doing? Listening to the radio. The New England DK was playing. When did you hear about Hattie with knocking? A little after 7. Echo never comes to our trailer. Want to talk to Aideen alone? She asked me to stay in the trailer. Okay. End of turn. End of demo? Just as it's getting good, but I'm already like so pulled out of it. This is the problem. Like now it's interesting where I get to go around and ask these people what they think about certain situations. Use answers from some people to ask questions to other, right? It's weird. It's really weird because I feel like now it's getting interesting, but because I spent like an hour getting to this point, I'm so tired from it. You know, I wasn't ready to read for an hour and a half. It didn't hook me in fast enough, even though the premise isn't that interesting. The premise of being a detective and trying to find what happened to this murdered woman is interesting. But this guy getting hit over the head and just appearing here, basically just for no reason, besides seemingly no reason, so far no reason. It just kind of seemed so out of place and nonsensical, just so that he'd have less time to solve the case. You know, this girl showing up, I'm going to replace her for seemingly no reason as well. I mean, I guess it helps people come out of the shadows, but it's just like such a rushed setup. But then all the dialogue there's so much that is maybe unnecessary as well, but let's go. Shouldn't you be? Nope, it's fine. I'm brawling stuff. Cali up. Here. Okay, start playing. Mask that covers half of it. It's like a Venice mask. Oh, look. Her eyes met mine. She tipped her top hat just slightly. What did I say? This is cool, right? As if punishing my lack of response would kick me in the shin. Oh, you can break my leg. You'd have to carry me. You have to carry me around. You're heavy. Is that the magician your boss hired? Who? Turned to point to a woman. She disappeared as if made from air. I saw someone with top hat and a dress. Magician's costume, right? That's the new hat. She's like a spy in the comic book. So cool. I want to talk to her. I don't know. I thought I saw her for a second. Did she see me? Did she know who I am and what I'm here to do? That is the end. Honestly, yeah. I mean, it's really cool. It's a really cool premise. The artwork is great. The music is great. When I get to actually do something, it's great. Questioning people with, with the questions that I want to ask them. Then the contradiction side of it as well, really cool. Investigating locations with the magnifying glass, less cool. Because it just kind of didn't seem to affect anything. I didn't really get anything valuable from that, I feel like, from the few times we did it. It's nice, but it is an awful demo. I have to say it's an awful demo. And why is it an awful demo? Because it has all this introduction and you don't get to play the game. And I always complain about this with demos that just give you the introduction and you get like the most boring part of the game. Like, that's an awful demo. It just did not hook me at all. I was just so tired reading through all that. It was really irritating. But now I just got to the good part and it ends. That's a bad demo. You know what I mean? Like, that is not what a demo is supposed to do. Because you're hooked on the murder, right? You want to find out who did the murder. But it's a lot to wade through. It's a lot to slowly grind through to get to the interesting parts, especially when a lot of it is just bad setup. Oh, I got hit on the head and I forgot everything. I'm going to spend the next 35 minutes without pants and then talking to Ruth and then talking to Rolf about my wallet and accusing him of... Dude, he could have just arrived in the town and it could have just said, I've been sent here by this guy to find this woman and blah, blah, blah. All that intro was just nonsense. It was nonsense and it was so bloated. You know what I mean? And so then the demo's worse because you're playing a lot of the blow instead of the interesting fun part, which is what we just got to by the end. That's what I'm complaining about. Really cool idea. I like the story. I like what we've got to do. We've got a goal now. Solve it by midnight. We've got a set amount of AP, so our decisions really matter. We have to be, use our actions carefully. We have to question people carefully based on knowledge that we're going to get from both of these characters. I like that we jump back and forth to these two different situations. Very, very cool. I'm sure there's going to be all sorts of twists and turns. It's going to be awesome. We didn't get to see any of that, though. We didn't get to see anything. We just got to read a bunch of nonsense, I feel like. I'm going to give it a 3. Very middle of the road. Really didn't lean into its premise enough as a demo. And that's an issue. It's just here's the first hour of the game. And that's just the worst way to do a demo, especially when it's like this. And especially when introducing the characters is, the most annoying part of your story. Just didn't feel natural at all. Just like, hey, I got hit in the head and now I'm here. Hi, I got a letter from my friend, but I'm also a magician, but also I'm going to pretend to be her because she asked me to do that. So you're a detective with mind-reading abilities and also you're her friend who's a magician who's going to replace her. You can do all of her stunts. You're a mind reader. She threw knives. She used to throwing knives at people on a spinning board. Can you do that as well? It's all so unlikely and rushed, but then the rest of it's really cool. So, yeah, that's kind of why it ended up in the middle. Just a 3. Basic 3. Let's move on. Anyway, that's Death Trick Double Blind. Looks like a really cool game. Pretty run-of-the-mill demo. Not that interesting. But I'm sure the full game is going to be way cool.